Wow. That was strange. No, not good. Oh,
We live?
yeah. Yep. Yeah, now we're live. Now I gotta get the chat reinitiated. Okay, everybody. Epic fail today. Trying to get everything running.
You're the man, though, Gil.
Well, I guess I could do better. Let's get that chat. Let me get that chat so we can get there we go. And we'll get the chat functioning again.
Okay. Call me Neon.
All right, everybody. Okay, so if you're
We're
there, we're live.
We are
Back. Hey, FinFan. I saw you in the comments before I totally rebooted everything. Welcome. I'm glad the notification's working. Now we are.
Are we up?
Yep.
Okay.
If Jeffy can hear me, then we're live from
I
Las
can hear
Vegas. All right.
I am hearing you. Everything is good.
All right.
Video's a
FinFan
little
can hear
soft
us
on
now.
my end, but I think we're fine.
Yeah, FinFan can hear us now, so something is working. Well, welcome. It's been a couple days since we hung out. You've had a pretty busy week. Tell us about your show. I so enjoyed seeing your the Elephant Ballet.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. We had a good show. We had a bunch of shows this last weekend, and it's like I had a weekend, and then I had to. I wish I could have had a couple days off afterwards, man. It was crazy because we are having some unseasonable heat right now, and all of our gigs were outside, and yeah, man, God, it took its toll, bro. It took its toll, but
Yeah,
good stuff, man. You caught us at the finale of our weekend of gigging, so hopefully it sounded pretty good. I don't know if you heard it where you were positioned because you were behind the stage. And you might have been just hearing the shitty mix that we had in our monitors, but not sure. So you tell me, my guy.
I liked it. I found a nice place in the shade, had a comfortable chair. There was a lot of cool people. It was cool. One of the things I got to observe from my position was watching people walk past you guys and then singing the songs as you guys were singing the song. So I could see people's mouths moving to the, I'm sure you could see that as well. And it's kind of a good indication that you're jiving. You know, you got people that are like, they're picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah, man, it worked out pretty well. We had that one guy, Gary, the man, the myth, the legend, jump up there and start dancing around like a crazy man. That was kind of fun. And like I said, made a little extra scratch with the band this weekend. That was the freebie that we do once a year for the Boulder City Hospital. It's a fundraiser for them, and it's good. It's good. I had a good time.
That's great. There's a lot of people. Looks like pretty good turnout. Lots of vendors out there at Art in the Park in Boulder City.
Art in the Park, Boulder City. Yeah, good times, man. It's like it's always fun to give back when you can, I suppose.
Yeah, good for you.
I like getting paid when I play, but once in a while you got to do a little charity work, I suppose.
Yeah. So I don't know if you did get a chance to listen to the show. FinFan had sent me
I was
some
watching
links.
the show. Okay, listen, Gil. I listened to the show. I didn't listen to the whole show. The clips you pulled up with Dane and Dane Wigington is just a man, bro. He'll get you scratching your head for sure. And yeah, your vocal, your actual sound was a little hot. It seemed like it was a little gainy to me, but I know you fixed that.
Yeah, it was a software problem. The way that I configured my mic was through my new camera, and then I had to come up with a separate audio capture. It's a bunch of technical stuff, but the scratchiness is gone now.
No, sounds good.
FinFan, give me a thumbs up. Well, it does during here, but it was the output to the stream that was messed up. FinFan, give me an indication if my audio is better.
I'm looking at your levels, though, man. You're pegging hot.
Yeah,
You're pegging a
I'll
little
turn it.
hot. So am I, actually,
I'll turn
but
that back a little bit. Is that
you're
a little
going
better?
red a little bit, not horrible, but
okay, that should be better. All right.
Don't-
Well, today when I got off work and I was heading home, I right before I got home, I took a look at Alex Jones' website and check out this first clip that I got from there.
If you can do so, could you tell us about some of your recent discussions, conversations, briefings that you've had with political leaders from the states in question that have asked you what you think? First of all, what did they specifically ask you, if you can tell us, and how did they respond to your answers?
Yes, Colonel McGregor, I had an hour conference call yesterday with the representatives and senators from the Carolinas, and we presented the data to them to answer their questions about how this manipulation occurs. They realized this was not a natural event. They're trying to digest the fact that their states were literally under assault from weather modification operations that are clearly connected with DoD operations, and we can speculate again on the agendas and objectives being carried out, but the fact that the storm was manipulated is absolutely inarguable. We know that technology to stop these rotations from even occurring has existed for decades with the manipulation of atmospheric pressure zones. HAARP in Alaska is one example many people are familiar with. That's an ionosphere heater. That's a weapon of mass destruction, period. It can cause an electrical chain reaction in the ionosphere, which heats it to extraordinarily high temperatures, which causes the atmosphere to bulge up and down. The downward push creates a high pressure dome that can steer the jet stream. And the same type of manipulation can create low pressure zones. And when they have this type of power over the climate system, they can make or break these storms anytime they want. And again, what we see now is storms kept weaker as they're over the ocean because they're harder to steer until they reach the land-based network of transmitters. And then we have, Colonel McGregor, rapid intensification. You've heard that term probably a lot lately because that's how they manipulate these storms. And again, we have Acapulco last October being the extreme example of rapid intensification. An insignificant low pressure system developed into the strongest Cat 5 hurricane to ever hit that part of the world in less than 24 hours, laid waste to Acapulco. And by the way, Hurricane John, which just hit Acapulco again as Hurricane Helene was wreaking havoc in the Carolinas. Not many people know that. So Acapulco just got dealt another blow. So again, how many agendas and objectives are being carried out when we know they can manipulate these storms, when we know they can make or break them anytime they want? And again, I bring up the oil infrastructure in the Gulf of Mexico that seems to magically miss any sort of damaging storm again and again and again, while the storms wreak havoc inland and on shorelines. It's not a coincidence. They have that much sway over the storm.
Yeah, it's definitive.
Dude.
It's inarguable.
Well, I mean, it's funny because I was watching Alex today as well, and he broke it down. He had some interviews back in the day. I forgot the guy's name, man. I should have wrote it all down, but I was working. I had about 17. I always tell my boss when he comes at me, he's like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And I'm like, "Bro, listen, man, I got a lot of balls in the air. Like I'm juggling a lot of different shit." And and he goes, "I know, man, you got a lot of balls in the air." Now he comes up and when he sees me, first thing he says is, "You got a lot of balls in the air, man, but can you?" But I was watching Alex, to go back to that, and yeah, they've been manipulating the weather since the 60s, bro. Since before then. I mean, this one guy who talked to Alex Jones in the 90s, like 30 years ago, he was talking about how they could control the weather with 5, Air Force jets. And they were doing it back in the day. He would fly into typhoons and just direct these things with however they do it. I didn't listen to, I was kind of in and out of the conversation, but dude, I mean, and I was talking to my people at work, and I told them, they go, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm getting ready to go do a on the podcast. You should check it out. It's about the weather weapons that are being used right now." And they're like, dude, what are you talking about? And they got me, they pulled out tin foil and stuff like that. And I'm just like, nah, dude. And they go, well, I mean, there's all this speculation right now about the North Carolina thing because apparently the town that just got decimated is on a large lithium deposit. And they've been going back and forth on, putting a mining setup over there. And I guess the locals don't want it. And they've been fighting back and forth on that with regulators and lawsuits and all this other nonsense for I guess a little while now. And everything has to be made from all these batteries that they want to make now. And I mean, the cost of lithium has skyrocketed, and I guess they want to mine it out of that area of North Carolina where they just destroyed the whole community.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Much like Maui, if you think about it, bro. I mean, Maui, the governor of Hawaii, like months before, the big Maui wildfires, he was talking about turning the island of Maui to have the first smart city on the islands. They were talking about making a smart city on Maui, and then all of a sudden, the main attraction of Maui, Lahaina, got decimated, man. And they tried doing a land grab on all those property owners there while they were still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Dane Wigington broke that down on the show that we just did, or that I did Sunday, that last show. He broke it down.
Yeah,
it's like they brought in these systems. They created this wind tunnel, and then because of all this chemtrails, the stuff they're dumping on us makes everything flammable. And he doesn't speak to what ignited it, but something ignited it, and it was
something ignited it that was pretty powerful, dude. Because I mean, if you looked at some of that wreckage afterwards, I mean, melted aluminum rims. I mean,
that sucker burned hot. It had air.
Hot.
Yeah,
hot, bro. There was a,
and the general public just isn't ready to wake up. The general public is just not. I mean, is it because they're so darn programmed with the media that if you even start talking to them about it, they look at you like you're crazy?
Yeah, I mean, my guys think that I'm just a fucking kook. You know what I mean? They're just like, dude, you're, my boss, man. He's funny. He's really, I love the guy, man. He's the best. He's the best. He's the best boss I think I've ever had in my life. And he's just like, he was talking to my director, the guy that how the pecking orders go. He's the executive director and then the director of ops. He goes to Tommy's his name, and he's like, Tommy, have you ever gone into a encyclopedia and pick up the book with C, and it'll say conspiracy theorist? You know what? His picture is going to be right there. He's pointing at me, and I'm like, bro, it's like you wait for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Pretty soon, listen. Here's what's going to happen, bro. Here's what happens, because of truth tellers that are out there. Here in 3 weeks, you're going to see, probably not even 3 weeks, because we got to see what happens with this thing that's barreling towards Tampa right now, right? How are they going to manipulate that? Where are they going to push that storm to? That's what I want to see. Because they're saying, I mean, I heard Alex Jones talking about it today, and he was saying they said the 180 mile an hour winds with this thing, and they say hurricanes don't start in the Gulf. You know what I mean? They come from the open ocean, I mean, it's like, this is a very rare thing. And now they're saying 180 mile an hour winds, and it's called Milton. So what Dane was talking about with Colonel McGregor there makes sense to me, because I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. Helene, where's I, J, K, and L? So there's 4 other hurricanes that happen because they name them.
They're
in
hanging out.
order.
They're hanging out in the Atlantic, getting ready to come in.
Yeah.
Here, check this out. Let's see if this will play. I have to. Okay, let's get our audio to work here.
Is this more Dane?
This is somebody else. Just today I got this off of. Let's see if I get the audio to work.
This thing is a
Yeah.
Category 5 hurricane. Now, you're not going to believe what I'm already seeing taking place near the state of Florida, just like we saw with Helene. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. Let's go over some of the stats that we're seeing right now. So as we speak right now, we are 2 miles away from this being a Category
So Leslie
5
and Kirk are
hurricane.
hanging out
And I gotta
out
say, my
there.
friends, I've been telling you this storm was going to be something we've never seen before. And that's exactly what's taken place. Rapid intensification within 24 hours from a Cat 1 to a Cat 5. That is likely the fastest a hurricane has ever rapidly intensified after forming in the Gulf and then continuing to stay in the Gulf. Look at this. Major hurricane all the way to landfall around 7 p.m. Wednesday. That may shift, give or take, but my friends, this is a horrible situation for the west coast of Florida and honestly the entire state of Florida. The geography of this state makes it very hard for anyone to be in a good spot when it comes to this. All right, and now my friends, into the stuff you really want to know about. All right, let's take a look at Florida, and already it's looking like a disco party is going on. A lot of different radar activity going on. We got spikes here going all the way into the Gulf. Heavy lines up in this area, and then of course we have the one we saw with Hurricane Helene right here going off again. Now, of course, remember, these are just theories that we're talking about here, entertainment purposes only, because no way is weather modification real, right, everybody? Anyway, take a look down here near southern Florida. We got some right angle clouds taking place. A weird situation here ahead of the hurricane, and I want you to think about this because ahead of Hurricane Helene, we had a very significant low pressure system up by North Carolina already sitting there that then interacted with actual Hurricane Helene, causing the record-breaking flooding. Now, just look at this one more time. Take a look at what's going on up here, the disco party, and then look at these clouds down here, making unnatural formations, right angles. We don't see right angles in nature. So a lot of the rain and moisture taking place in Florida is almost a precursor to the landfall of the hurricane. Again, the same situation took place with Hurricane Helene, days of rain in the Carolinas and Tennessee before that thing even made landfall. A little bit, you can get a much better idea of what I'm talking about. Look at that. We got one coming from all the way in North Carolina, streaking across South Carolina, Alabama, part of the Panhandle, through Mississippi, and into Louisiana. This is unreal. This is a very distinct radar beam here. And then look at the other ones fingering down like this. And if you continue to watch, you can see our little beams coming from Georgia right down into Florida, exactly where Hurricane Helene made landfall. So again, my friends, whatever's going on here, we're just speculating. Again, we see that right angle down there form before it starts to blend away. Look at that. It looks like a box. Very, very odd. Again, my friends, just a very, very odd situation. A lot of different anomalies taking place ahead of the hurricane heading into this exact area. It is very similar to what we saw with Helene, and I do not think it's the last we're going to see of these anomalies. Keep in mind, we are already at a Cat 5 hurricane, so hopefully a little bit of weakening as it approaches Florida. If that takes place, it'll be a total miracle. All right, my friends, please share this video far and wide. Shout out to my cousin Mark in Florida. My dude, be safe. I'll be in touch with you in a little bit. And shout out to Canada. See you all later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Into Thin Air, man. That guy's great.
Yeah, I got that off of InfoWars.
Yeah, that
Into
guy,
Thin
I've
Air.
seen him interviewed with Alex. You know, the thing that Alex was talking about today is like, you know, they've got the technology to squash these things. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's what
Right.
he was talking about today on the show. He was like, you know, we've got the technology to cancel these things. So if you've got the power to cancel something, that means you've got the power. So, you know, he was saying that they could squash these things with technology that they have, but they're ramping them up. It seems, you know what I mean? Theoretically.
Right. Here, let's go to this other cut with Dane.
Dane's great,
Sure.
man.
Yes.
The question here is, how does this hurricane's path differ from others that we've seen? I've already had a lot of people call me from the Asheville area, talk specifically about the horrendous damage, and many of them pointed out that that is not Hurricane Alley per se. It's not an area that normally attracts storms. Can you help us understand this?
Well, the bottom line is it was directed there, as the transmission recordings clearly show. They kept that moisture corralled there to deluge in the same location. So again, these are patented technologies, and the fact that we have the entire so-called meteorological community denying that this is going on to protect their paychecks and pensions is absolutely criminal at this point. We know we have private defense contractors that are neck deep in the patents that manipulate these storms, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. We know those two in particular do the weather modeling for the nation's weathermen, National Weather Service and NOAA. Again, both agencies have an illegal federal gag order on them. So at this point, this is an emperor has no clothes moment. That's the best description I can give for something that is so blatantly obvious and inarguable, can only be considered weather warfare at this point. And the fact that, again, the so-called science community is denying this manipulation is criminal. It's absolutely criminal, Colonel McGregor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I think Dane's going to be on with Alex tomorrow.
Good. I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the dimming, bro?
Last night I played it. Dean Wigington gives us so much information that I have to listen to it over and over and over again so that I can really understand the terms and the technology and the specifics of it.
Well, he was, he wasn't really, he's not this crazy conspiracy theory guy. I mean, he used to design solar panels. I mean, he was in the solar industry. And he's also like, I mean, I was watching a little bit of his background, and he's like this outdoorsman type dude, and he wanted to be off grid. So he was off grid for a little while, and he just noticed that the groundwater where he was, it looked like it had oil on top of it. And he's like, how in the hell does that? What is that? Where I'm in the middle of in the woods. And then he realized, that's when he started realizing that it's from the, what are they called? Stratospheric aerosol injection, aka chemtrails that they've been spraying for decades. And that's when he started really peeling the onion, apparently. So he was a solar engineer, bro. You know what I mean? He was for solar energy. You know what I mean? He was, he's not like this right-wing freaking knuckle dragger. He's just a smart engineer that, I'm completely, just basing this on memory from watching the dimming years ago. I saw that, you know what I mean? And the climate manipulation that's been going on for decades, you know what I mean? So when they say man-made climate change, that's why I'm just like, yeah, it is 100% man-made. Yeah, from you motherfuckers that are trying to control it and control us via the nefarious actions that you're taking with the weather.
Yeah, Mother Nature is not Mother Nature. It is a DoD program to control the people, to control the useless eaters.
Yeah, 100%.
When you get a chance, go back to an email we got from FinFan. I think it was Saturday night, and he's got 2 links to 2 of Dane Wigington's shows that he's been on recently, and he goes into such detail.
Like I said, I haven't seen those. I clicked on those links, and that's basically because he was on that radio show that you clipped. And then, like I said, I subscribe to his geoengineeringwatch.com. Is it .org? I forget.
Org.
Yeah, geoengineeringwatch.org, and he's you can get freaked out listening to that guy.
Well, he's
you know what I mean?
He's bringing the receipts. So
yeah, no, it's not. If you listen to him, there's no way that you could say that he's just some kind of a crackpot, man. He's calm. He's cool.
Non-political. He's not.
He's got a sense of urgency with what he's saying, but it's also wake the fuck up, everybody. What are you doing? What's going on? I mean, what? It's the globalist, man. Agenda 2030, brother. Agenda 2030. That's what it's all about. That's what these knuckleheads are. That's the agenda.
For some reason, I got another thing to solve. Somewhere during our streams, you're totally clear to me in our control room, but in OBS, your picture is super fuzzy, and it's not you. It's something on my end, and I've got to get that fixed. Because in the control room, you look great. I got great video, but in the show,
I'm looking at the stream now, dude. It looks pretty clear on the stream.
Okay. Well,
I got it on my phone. So, what does FinFan say?
FinFan, how does Jeffy's video? Because Jeffy's video to me looks all foggy and
could be my camera.
I don't think so because I see you really good in the control room. It's just
Hold on, I'm gonna give it a quick wipe just to be on the safe.
yeah. He's seeing that the blurriness too. So I don't think it's anything on your end. I think it's something on my end. I'm gonna have to do some work on that. I don't know how to fix it.
Whatever I just did, I made it worse.
I don't want to do it live, but in a way I almost want to. Well, we're gonna have to sit on here and not be streaming for me to be able to make the tweaks that I need to get that fixed. Because
all right, well, let's just keep rolling, bro.
that's not right. All right, here, let's go to cut 3. It makes me wonder, how do you get goods? How do you transport goods to anywhere in a city without cars
or trucks?
Or
Maybe trucks were allowed.
Maybe, I guess you could use hand carts, with mules and horses.
Yeah, dude. Did you notice the tag at the end of that, bro? The World Economic Forum.
I missed that.
Yeah.
So that is just propaganda.
100%, bro. That was like, do you think we should ban cars? World Economic Forum. We will do it. Agenda 2030.
You got me.
Klaus. Didn't Klaus step down? Klaus is gone from the World Economic Forum?
Well, he stepped down, but he's still pulling the strings. Come on.
You think?
Of course he is. So, yeah, you remember that there's that clip where he's talking about there's going to be cyber attacks. They're going to be so bad. They're going to eclipse any of the pain or trouble that you guys experienced during the pandemic. And have you heard the news today of the cyber attack on the water system in New Jersey?
No.
Massive cyber attack on the water system. Lots of people affected. Here, it looks like I got company. Just a second.
Here we go. Yeah, dude. October surprises. It's not really a surprise. I mean, I didn't know that they would go with weather manipulation, but seems as though that is their game plan. I'm moving my camera a little bit here just to center it up a little bit. Let me just move that. Whatever, man. My framing is just not up to snuff. Hold on a second. Let me just move this a little bit.
Well, I think this could be just the beginning. I mean, hold on a second.
Fuckery alert.
Yeah.
To say the least, bro.
There is a lot, and we haven't even begun to see the fuckery that they've got in store for us. There's no way in hell that this election is going to go off the way it's supposed to. Everything and anything could happen between now and the election day. And
so tell me about what this thing in Jersey is about with the water.
Where did I see that? I just saw that on Citizen Free Press just before we went on.
Jeez.
Where did I see that? Or maybe it was on I probably saw it on Alex Jones.
Right.
He's so on top of stuff.
Well, that's why we got to support him, dude. I mean, he's it's going down for him. You know what I mean? We're going to figure it out. That's why, you and I are both supporting the cause, so to speak.
So I bought one shirt. I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna order some more.
I got 6. I bought 6 of them. I want to save the frogs. I got that shirt you're wearing, my friend. I wore that the other day.
You got some good comments from the crowd about your shirt too. I heard that.
Where?
I think Gary was asking you about your shirt. He's like, I want to buy your shirt. Where do I buy one?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I was wearing the Alex Jones Experience one. I had to, on Mondays, I do a lot of specialty shopping for some of the clients that I have. So I have to run around a bit. And I'm wearing my chef pants and I got that Alex Jones Experience shirt. Bro, dudes were coming up going, dude, that is a badass shirt, man. So Alex Jones, man, he is loved and hated, but I think he's more loved than hated these days.
Honestly, for some reason, now I can't find any news about that cyber attack. Here we go. Largest U.S. Let me bring that on screen so you can share it. Largest U.S. water utility hit by cyber attack. Over 14 million citizens in 14 states affected, including 18 military installations.
Fantastic.
United States' largest drinking and wastewater utility service, American Water Works, revealed hackers managed to breach its computer networks and systems on Thursday. So
Ugh.
what? This is old news?
Apparently. So let's see if it's on Pulse. I'm pulling up Pulse right
It says
now.
October 8th. So the story broke today, but we didn't
Yeah.
hear about that on the fake news media. New Jersey company provides service to more than 14 million people in 14 states and on 18 U.S. military installations. They notified law enforcement and cooperating with investigations while also trying to bring the disconnected systems back online safely and securely. And this is what Klaus Schwab was talking about. Like, hey, this is just a little test probably of the power
the
going to go
COVID thing?
down, the water going to come down, all the different systems. Take down the banking system. They'll bring us to our knees. Well, and of course, even the strike on the ports. I mean, that was the beginning. I'm sure they averted that for now, but I'm sure that's going to cause some.
I'm not seeing it on the Pulse right now. They haven't put anything up yet, but that updates all the time about that. There's a lot of crazy stuff in here, though, dude. There's like, let me just read this headline real quick. You got the Pulse handy? Can you pull that up real quick?
Yeah.
Go to this one, bro. This is freaking. Let's see what this says. I'm gonna read it. 120 million in profits. Here we go. So this was posted like 3 hours ago. It's like it's got a picture of Biden, and the headline is "We fucked it up." Biden blames Obama and himself for the Russia-Ukraine war. Veteran journalist Bob Woodward reports that Joe Biden blames Barack Obama for the war in Ukraine, lamenting that their administration did nothing to stop Russia's annexation of Crimea or the Russian separatist uprising in Donbass following the Western-backed Euromaidan coup in 2014. Woodward writes in his upcoming book, War, which CNN has seen, that Biden believes they fucked up in 2014, referring to the Obama-Biden administration. That's why we're here. He told a friend of the full-scale war in Ukraine, which began in 2014. We fucked it up. Barack never took President Vladimir Putin seriously. We did nothing. We gave Putin a license to continue. He continued angrily, insisting that he was revoking Putin's effing license. Although 2 years on, Russian forces are now steadily advancing, despite the U.S. and its allies spending billions of dollars, literally billions of dollars, arming and training the Ukrainian military and subsidizing the Ukrainian government and private sector. Netanyahu, Woodward, who helped break the Watergate scandal during the Richard Nixon administration, reports that Biden also regularly expressed his fury with that son of a bitch, Bibi Netanyahu. He's a bad guy. He's a bad fucking guy. This is quotes apparently from Biden. Biden said the Israeli prime minister privately. Israeli offensives into Gaza and Lebanon following the October 7 massacres of Israeli civilians by Hamas militants have badly damaged the standing of Biden and the Democratic Party among Arab and Muslim Americans, jeopardizing their electoral prospects in swing states like Michigan. Biden said he should never have picked Attorney General Merrick Garland during a conversation over his son's legal troubles. The 81-year-old has also called Netanyahu a, quote, fucking liar, and reportedly called him shouting, Bibi, what the fuck? End quote. After an Israeli airstrike in the Lebanese capital of Beirut killed a Hezbollah commander and 3 civilians in July, Biden has received some sympathy on his various foreign policy disasters from George W. Bush, who reportedly called his Democrat successor saying, I can understand what you're going through. I got, again, this is a quote from George Bush, I got fucked by my intel people too. Following the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, this is about Hunter. Woodward also reports that Biden is privately angry with Attorney General Merrick Garland for allowing the investigations into his son Hunter Biden to escalate to their current point. Should never have picked Garland, he reportedly told an associate, complaining, quote, this is never going to fucking go away, end quote.
Wow. A lot of
wow.
F-words.
Biden's got a potty mouth. I'm glad I'm not alone. Wow.
Yeah.
Yowza.
The
Yowza,
real
Mr. Biden.
The real story.
That's, yeah, I mean, I'd like to, that's, I don't know whoever wrote this. Wow. That's pretty, so maybe what is he having a moment of clarity, Joe Biden? Because, I can't imagine that he even knows what he's talking about half the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, wow. I love the Pulse, man. National Pulse. It's pretty good, bro. Pretty good. I'd say support them too, party people. Anyway, yeah. Crazy stuff right there, bro. Sorry,
Sure.
Sidetracked. We were talking about weather manipulation, and Greg Reese has put out a couple of really nice reports about this whole nightmare too. I'm going to go deep. I'm going to dive deep into it with some of the stuff that Alex was talking about and hit some of those links, some of those declassified things from the 50s and 60s and 70s, then when they were doing weather manipulation to drown out the Viet Cong and during Vietnam, man, with cloud seeding.
Operation Popeye. Yep.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they were doing this kind of stuff back then. Can you imagine how advanced that technology has gotten at these points? They can totally control these hurricanes, and they choose not to. Especially when it's barreling towards their opposition, a stronghold of their opposition, right?
Or they have some other agenda that we don't.
Oh, dude, there's always another agenda.
All right, let's get this cut 4.
I think fossil fuels are better for the environment than people realize, because without them we would have cut all the trees down by now. I think they also save the whales, because before we were using fossil fuels, we're using whale oil to make everything. And I think people who wanted to save the whales should be happy that we use fossil fuels.
Okay, interesting. So are you completely against what they're supporting, or do you think it's just not a realistic outcome?
Most of the climate change issue is about controlling our energy resources. Let's say they get off of fossil fuels and they put everybody on electricity, and we're all using electricity for everything. Well, all that has to be mined. Most of it's mined by slave labor in communist countries that are owned by dictators at very violent places, and I don't see why that's a better energy resource than fossil fuels. They make people money who take it out of the ground rather than being forced out of the ground, and there's a lot less exploitation involved in it. The scientists who say climate change is real only get grant money if they say climate change is real. A lot of the scientists who disagree with climate change, all their budgets are taken away and they're blacklisted. There's a big movement to change our energy resources. Like I said, and if you change our energy resources, you change who controls the power in the world.
Yep.
What?
Spot on.
Tell me where the guy's wrong. I mean, I don't think he can. I don't think anybody can, Gil.
Nope.
I mean, spot on. I don't know. I'll tell you what, dude, if I ever see any of those little knuckleheads with the Stop Oil that throwing tomato soup on anything, I think I'm just going to have to get arrested and make an example out of those little pencil neck motherfuckers. It angers me when I see them blocking traffic and, get out of the way. Just stop. Stop with your stupid nonsense.
Well, I mean, if they're protesting peaceably, that's one thing. But if they're destroying,
priceless
art.
works of art, and they're just stopping cars from moving. Enough. I mean, I don't see a lot of the, you see all these TikTok clips and all this other stuff of these knuckleheads, stopping traffic in European countries and whatnot. I don't see a lot of it happening here in the States, but come on, man. Wake up.
Yeah, it's a little bit too
Fossil
much.
fuels are not your enemy. The people that are manipulating the weather, the people that want to put you in a 15-minute city, the people that want to take away all of your rights and control everything that you do and every dollar that you spend and everything that you do are the enemy.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Let's check out this Cut 5.
We want to go all electric by 2035. Is it practical to do it now?
Well, we can make this whole discussion easy with the two-letter word, no. There's no such thing, of course, as a zero-emissions vehicle. The real question is, where are the emissions associated with the electric car? Because what you do with an electric vehicle is you don't eliminate emissions, you export them somewhere else. You have to dig up about 500,000 pounds of materials to make a single 1,000-pound battery. It takes 100 to 300 barrels of oil to manufacture a battery that can hold 1 barrel of oil equivalent of energy. Just manufacturing the battery can have a carbon debt ranging from 10 tons to 40 tons of CO2. And the plans that are in place to increase the use of batteries will require an increase in production of minerals like lithium, cobalt, zinc. Demand for those minerals will increase between 400% and 4,000%. There isn't enough mining in the world to make enough batteries for that many people for their cars.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, people need to understand that part of it, man. They think, oh my God, this stuff, what does it grow on trees? No, it does not grow on trees. No. And you know what I saw recently too was I saw some environmentalists actually saying, enough with these solar things. You're destroying all of our land with all of these fucking solar panels, man. You're doing more damage than good. Than, destroying acreage of land and putting these freaking solar farms up that aren't producing enough energy.
Well,
it's just a waste of time.
And that Dane Wigington thing, radio show that I listened to the other night, or maybe it was the podcast he did with someone else. He described that this stuff they're dumping out of the airplanes. There's so much of it in our atmosphere now that the light is coming through, but not the right kind of light for the solar panels. So he literally says that our solar panels are not operating at 100% efficiency. They're operating at a much lower than like 70%. So So you take all this stuff that they're actually doing with this geoengineering, and it's making the solar not work to its most effective, and then they're also blowing holes in the ozone layer because they're putting more of this garbage. And every breath we take, we're breathing this crap. And there's microplastics in it. They're killing us. They're killing agriculture. This global geoengineering program they're trying to murder us.
Well, yeah, and let alone the fact that I read a report out of England about solar panels that they said they work optimally at like 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Bro, 78 degrees. We haven't seen 78 degrees. I mean, at night, we're getting down into the 70s here now, but bro, they say they lose their efficiency after 78 degrees. So all the solar panels that are on the houses in the middle of the desert here, when it's 120 degrees in the middle of the desert, where they have these solar farms and stuff like that, they're not even working at 100% when it gets too hot.
But is that because they're telling you that, and the real truth is that the geoengineering is causing them not to operate at top efficiency?
It could be a diversion. Absolutely. Now, I mean, right. I read that report a long time ago. That could totally be look, a diversion. You saw it yesterday. I was looking up at yesterday morning at blue skies over Las Vegas. Yep. And then I saw these
chemtrails coming from California across the sky,
Yep.
3, 4, 5 of them. And then there was at least one that crisscrossed it. And not long after that, the clouds kind of came in and broke all up over the sky. And I mean, what do you think's going on with this extra heat, this long, warm, hot summer we're having? Come on, is this natural? Something. Oh my gosh,
dude. Yeah, they're we're hitting 100 and 102 in the middle of at the beginning of October, and we're supposed to be in the high 80s. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I mean, of course they'll blame it on fossil fuels and the CO2 that we all emit and that we need to stop. But the bottom line is that what have they done to create this? They're talking about heat domes now, and I don't know if you've heard any of that kind of discussion. And I mean,
downward
it's
pressure.
Rapid escalation and all this other stuff, and it's just like all of this stuff is being manipulated, man. I mean, it's just becoming clearer and clearer. And I think that, most folks, don't want to hear it, and they think you're just crazy, and it's just climate change. And yeah, man, climate changes, man. And it wouldn't be changing this radically if we weren't fucking it up. If we weren't adding to that.
Yep.
Yeah, man. If we weren't adding to it, I think that all that stuff just needs to stop. All that top secret shit. But again, you know what I mean? The deep state, or the administrative state that, you hear Bannon, we will soon be hearing Bannon talk about again soon, thank God, has gotten out of control. I mean, if you look at the, there's 3 branches, right? You got your legislative, you got the judiciary, and you've got the executive branch. And if you look at all of the 3-letter